All right, so let's bring in Nolan Finley of the Detroit News, Stephen Henderson of American Black Journal. Hi, guys. How are you this week?
Doing the best we can.
Yeah, so I think everyone is talking about the protesters in Lansing on Wednesday and having these debates about essential businesses versus non-essential businesses and where we all really are in the process. I'm going to start with you on this, Nolan.
Well, I think when the orders made sense, when people understood the rationale, when they were reasonable, she had the people of Michigan with her. I think people were trying to do their best to obey the orders. When they sort of became a little bit harder to explain and harder to defend, and when they became just a bit irrational, I think that's when she started losing people. People started asking questions. Why can't I have a one-person landscaping firm mow my lawn? Why can't I drive through a closed car wash? Why can't construction workers who can social distance get back to work? And she doesn't have good answers to those questions, particularly in light of other states, particularly Washington, which was hit hard and is allowing those sort of things. We're exceeding federal guidelines, and a lot of things just defy common sense. And I think it would really serve her well to look at what other states are doing and just adopt some common sense practices here. Lee Chatfield, the Speaker of the House, says, let's go to safe and not safe rather than essential and non-essential. It's what a lot of places are doing. And I think people would support her if she did that. I mean, people want to support her, I think.
Stephen?
Well, I mean, I think there is a reasonable conversation to be had about how you re-engage the economy, how you reopen things. That conversation is taking place. The governor is having that conversation with lots of different people around her and with people in the business community. What they're upset about is that her decision has been to err on the side of public health. And if you talk to anyone in public health right now, what they say is that the stay-at-home order that we have right now is the most practical and safest course. Now, will that be true in a month and a half? No one knows. And the governor's not saying that it won't be revisited in that time frame. In fact, it absolutely will. But to say sua sponte right now, well, we're through this, and it's
nobody's saying that, Steve. Nobody's saying that. And public health takes a lot of forms. People out there losing their jobs, worried about how they're going to do this. There's a lot of stress.
All right, hang on.
A lot of stress. And
there is a lot of stress, but medically, if people start dying at a rapid rate, there's going to be a lot of stress there too.
No question about it. But there are federal guidelines. There are other states that are doing this differently, and some things she's doing are just indefensible.
Okay, go ahead, Stephen. Hang on, Nolan.
There's nothing that she's doing that's indefensible. It's all within her power. It's all.
Of course it is. But it doesn't make sense, Steve.
Hang on, Nolan. Go ahead.
It's all it's all under the guise of what public health experts are saying. I understand that it's in conflict with the business community and its priorities, but that's one of the things we're learning here right now is what people really value. And there is a difference. I mean, there are people who are saying that their ability to make money, the ability to have the economy churning is more important than saving every life that you can. And that's just not, I don't think she was elected to pursue that kind of agenda. Maybe Rick Snyder, if he were governor, would see it differently. He came at these things from a different standpoint too. We saw how that played out in a place like Flint, for instance. This is a different governor. This is a different time. The people of the state elected her to make these kinds of decisions she's making. The polls show 71% of Michiganders support what she's doing. So we're not talking about even a close call here. This is a tantrum being thrown. They supported
the initial orders. When she doubled down on them, she lost a lot of support. And I think it's unfair to say this is all about business. Now you let me talk, Steve. It's unfair to say it's all about business. It's all about people worried about making money. These are people who are losing their jobs and are worried about how they're going to maintain their households, how they're going to maintain their health insurance, how they're going to feed and take care of their families. This is not just people worried about profits, they're worried about their health. But if we have other places saying, look, if we can safely go back to work, we need to start doing that. and she's going in the other direction. And by the way, things aren't getting any better here compared to places like Washington, and even California now is starting to loosen up a little and get the economy going. These are people at the bottom end of the economic scale who are getting hurt the most. And you can't discount what it's doing to their mental health and to their outlook on the future and whether they're going to be able to survive.
Yeah,
No one
that's
is-
probably
no
something
one-
we haven't talked about yet. Go ahead, Stephen. You can
No
respond.
one is discounting the economic impact of this. Everybody is concerned about that. But at bottom, the damage that's being done to the economy can be repaired, right? I mean, no
We
matter
don't know
what
that.
it is. Hold on.
We
let me
certainly
finish.
don't know
Let me
that.
finish. You can always fix money. You can always go back and restart an economy once you're ready to do it. You can't resurrect the dead. You can't bring somebody back because they've contracted a virus that is so virulent and so spreading so fast that we can't control it. She is erring on the side of making sure that that doesn't happen. And the truth is that in terms of long term, if we don't do that, we will not be in this. The reason that Washington is able to do what it's doing is because it's on the other side of the curve.
But it never shut down this hard, Steve. It never shut down this hard. And yeah, you say you can restart the economy, but it's going to come at great human cost. I mean, there are a lot of people out there who are already suffering.
Both things are going to come at great human cost, and a lot of people are suffering out there. Guys, we're going to have to leave it there for right now this week. We'll check back in with you soon.